Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Hi. Okay, amazing to see everybody again today. Um, as usual, let's start with tuning into the energies. Okay, today the theme is the inner peace. Maybe you feel it expanding in the center of your chest. So this is where, when we talk about this inner peace, would be experienced. So it's really everywhere in the system. So the whole system experiences the peace, but like on the level of the heart, this is where it's coming from, and it's expanding from the level of the heart. And this peace is, of course, very beautiful. As you know, peace feels very nice, right? So it's one of the nicest experiences. The system is relaxed, it's open, everything is flowing. And it just feels very natural because peace is just something that is within our system, and it's something we can expand. So we can expand on everything that's within us, right? So on the also on the low vibrational energies, on high vibrational energies, in the form of vibrations, so not emotions, but we can also do it with the peace. And peace is part of who we truly are. So if we realize the true nature, peace is just there all the time, this inner peace. And the beautiful thing is, no matter what is happening in the outside world, in our outside reality, the peace is always there. So there could be like a very angry person approaching you and yelling at you, and you experience this person, and you probably feel the anger of that person, and whatever energies are coming towards you. But your system absolutely stays quiet. There's absolute peace there. Even though there can emotions surface because of, let's say, that interaction with that person, there can also be an emotion surfacing or many emotions, but the peace is there all the time. And this is very interesting. So the peace is there, including everything else that's happening in the human. And so this is very, very freeing. So this is very liberating because you have access to both. The peace is there and also the emotions. Also high vibrational emotions, of course, but we always like the high vibrational emotions. So this is why I mostly point to the low vibrational ones, because they're not often not so enjoyable, let's say it like that. Yeah, and no matter what's happening on the outside, it could be something sudden coming towards you, like a sudden information that causes stress in the system, causes anxiety. Your day could be just very stressful, like everyday life experience, very stressful. And the human can experience a lot of stress, but at the same time, the peace is present. And we can basically choose. So depending on where we're at on the journey, but we can basically choose which experience we want to experience stronger. So is it the human stuff that's what's surfacing, the movement, or is it the peace? And it's just even though we're within this experience and a lot is happening, at the same time we have this choice. We can just say or think or put the intention. We focus on the peace, and this changes the experience fully, versus we focus on the movement in the human, the thoughts, the emotions. This changes every experience. And then, coming from the level of the peace, what's happening is the allowing of the situation. Because usually when we are in the emotions, in the thoughts, we act. We don't want to feel them. We don't want to have these negative thoughts. We try to get rid of them by some sort of plan on that surface level to get rid of the emotions and the thoughts. Usually it's taking some actions. But from the level of the peace, it's allowing the situation to be there. It's allowing the emotions to surface, to move through, as I always call it. So everything is just moving through until it passes. And then looking back at the situation, 99.9% of the times, there wasn't even an action necessary. the situation had to just play itself out. And that's very important because I share it again. Usually, when we don't want to feel or think or feel something or have certain thoughts, we take actions to get rid of them. And the outcome of that causes usually more problems, or it's just like we create our own obstacle versus we just allow the situation to pass, allow the emotions to move through into thoughts and other energies that are triggered. Yeah. And this is very crucial. And this is why I always say life becomes more effortless, because we often think we need to do so much. So specifically on that level, we need to act so much. So like we need to move, we need to have a different job, we need to have a different partner. We have, I don't know, find a babysitter for the annoying child or whatever. But really, the situation triggers something up within us. We don't want to feel it. We don't want to be in this situation. And then we are changing stuff on the outside. We split up with the partner, we move into another house. But the issue is always within, right? The emotions are always within, the triggers are within. And so if we focus on the peace and the energies right now, maybe you feel it throughout when I'm talking, they're already expanding the peace in your system. That you have more access to that this becomes more of a lived experience in your everyday life. And then when you have the peace present and you have the knowing the peace is there, again, no matter what's happening, you obviously decide to focus on the peace, because then the experience is much smoother than, let's say, if we are in the human and in the turmoil of the human emotions and thoughts and other energies. Yeah, and also the peace supports us in clearing the system, because so the peace that's always there in our system, because when stuff is moving through, when there's a clearing happening, let's say there's just a clearing happen without like an outside trigger, sudden emotional outburst, something surfacing from the past. When we focus on the peace, we see the difference, because often we don't see the difference. We see emotion surfacing and then we are the emotions and we are in that vibration. But when we tune into the peace, then we see it as just energy moving through the system. And this makes such a big difference, because then it's easier for us not to act on it. It's easier for us to just allow it to move through and not, again, create any changes on the outside, to not feel it. And just to share this in more detail, what do I mean with moving through? When the emotion is present, it's like it's just an energy in the system. And if we don't grab it, if we don't act on it, if we don't believe it, if we don't think about it, it's just an energy in our system, then it can move through. We're not holding it in. But often what we do is we start interacting with it, because we don't want to feel it. We don't want to think about it. And so we grab it, we hold it in. And then it stays for a little bit until we are done with it, or it even stays in the system. And so moving through, allow it to move through, is either not acting on it, not believing it, not touching it, just allowing it to be there so that it can move through. Or what I often say is, and to me this was always the easiest one, is to give it away, to give it to God, universe, divine mother, your higher self, whatever you want, because this is also not holding on to it. It's the same thing energetically, just giving it away. Yeah, and the peace that comes from the heart is so beautiful, is so enjoyable. And moving through life with this peace, and with the peace, of course, the silence, the stillness, the clarity comes as well. It's like all one. I just use these different words to point into that direction. Life changes accordingly, right? Becomes more peaceful in general. And this is what we want. And this is how we create a better life experience and a better experience of Earth, of this reality. We do it, okay? We do it within us. Because we are the change, we become the peace, we become the silence and all of that. And then the outside changes accordingly. And then also know that life gifts us sometimes with amazing experiences so that we see, oh, there is still some stuff to clear. So it tests us. Are you already like holding on to the peace enough, or are you already able to tap into the peace in a stronger way, or in a what's the word? You know what I mean? Like, are you able to do that already? Or is there still some work you need to do? So sometimes we get these tests. And this is just something I get from the energies that, like, with a little laughter there, a little giggly energy, because from the perspective of the energy, it's like there is a loving, giggly energy there. This is how they see it. Of course, for the human, it's not like that, but from the energetical level, this is just a little giggly gift to see where we're at. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Lovely message. Very helpful. Um, then let's start with the meditation. So, for people who have never been here before, we're going to do a 50-minute meditation. Half of it is guided, half of it is sitting in silence. What you can do is sit back, relax, meditate along, close your eyes, and you don't need to do anything else. Just observe, feel what's happening, because this is how we get access to who we truly are. This is how we get access to what's behind the thoughts, the emotions, the the human construct. Okay, so we can never experience it with the mind. It's always a feeling, a sensing, a becoming. And this is what we're doing with these meditations. They support the transformational journey and support to become more of who you are in this life. Yeah. Okay, and after that, we have time to chat, and you can share your experience if you want. I start with opening up the energy field. Bring in light. Then expand the energy field. Expanding the energy field helps to hold more light in the system, and also more awareness comes with that as well. So I'm expanding. The energy field can always be expanded, always be more expanded. We can carry more light. And light is higher information, and this information is transforming our system and also our life experience. And this is exactly what we want. Then I fill up the expanded space with light. Then I clear surface energies. The surface energies are the ones that I refer to when I talk about the first layer, the human layer of our being. The energies on the surface, and this would be the thoughts, emotions, and other energies that are playing out in the system currently. We don't need them right now. We want to move into what's behind there, into the silence, the stillness, the clarity, the peace. So that's always there. We can always connect to that. And the goal is basically to have this as main experience and also have the human experience at the same time. And there's a beautiful energy of peace coming in. So there's so much peace flowing in right now. The peace feels so nice. It feels familiar. It feels like, yeah, truth. It's truth. Peace is truth for who we are in this life. Peace is just something when I look into our systems, like every system responds in the same way. It's like the system wants to experience more of it, more of it, more of it, and more of it. So I pull a little bit deeper into the meditation so that the peace can expand more and more in your system. And you can just drop into it like into a warm bath. Become it. Become the peace because it feels so good. And maybe there are still a few energies in your system that are disturbing the peace, or there's a little tension here and there. What you can do is just relax more. Allow this all to be there. It's going to dissolve when you allow it to be there. Relax. And I also support the clearing a little bit. So because we are experiencing the peace and more of it, so it's just going to become stronger. The image I'm getting is like we're creating this blanket of peace, energetically seen. And this is also like as when a blanket moves down from above very slowly and covers the body, it feels just very beautiful, right? And this is how our blanket of peace that we are creating right now is coming down in the collective as well at the same time, bringing the peace into the collective. And you see, like, feel into your system. when you're at peace, your system is just very relaxed. There's nothing to do, nowhere to go. And if this peace is present in our everyday life experience, more and more of that, it's a very similar experience. There's nothing to do until there is something to do. Then we do it. The system is just open all the time. The body's relaxed, which is so important for the level of the body. Like relaxation on the level of the body is very healing. Usually we experience a lot of tension due to stress, worries, other stuff, other influences. And there is so much peace, and this peace energy is working on the level of the mind, also supporting more peaceful thoughts. So peaceful thoughts are thoughts that are very much aligned with your heart level. So they're not negative stories that take you away from the present moment. They're just more like a soft little cloud fluffs that are there. And then it's a lot easier to not move into the thoughts, like believing them, continue thinking. We usually do that when there are negative thoughts and we feel like we need to protect ourselves. So maybe you feel how different the level of the mind feels when it's filled with peace. And usually as humans, we think we need to do so much. The more we do, the better. The faster we do it, the better. The more, like more leads to better and more. It's not true. It's a conditioning. Peace, silence, stillness, clarity leads to a lot more. And this is something we really need to be, or it's happening right now, right? But we need to have experiences from that level that we start believing that, because usually everybody would tell you of the absolute opposite. But this is part of this transformation, to realize that. And also, if we, let's say, do a lot, then it still comes from a place of peace and where no stress exists, so not from a level of stress. And why is peace energy so transformational, and especially for the collective as well? When we experience peace, so when people recognize the peace within, they will do a lot to get this peace back, to experience this all the time, because this is what most people are looking for. So they're looking for it on the outside world, right? So I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this to finally be at peace, to finally run my errand, finish this project, and so forth, because then I will experience peace. Not true. Nothing on the outside will bring you this peace. Doesn't work. It's absolute misunderstanding. You will never get there or anywhere on the outside. It always comes from the inside. And so I'm expanding the experience of peace more and more in your system, coming from the level of the heart. And then, as you experience right now, and this is for other people as well, right? The stress falls off, the thoughts fall away, the million things we need to do vanish. And then suddenly, there is a lot less to do. And like I said in the beginning, most problems and obstacles are created by ourselves because we act on something that we feel or think, and we just don't want to feel or think it. I pull you deeper, deeper and deeper into this beautiful ocean of peace. I put the peace energy in all the chakras. Crown chakra, so everything that's not of peace in your system, or a lot, let's say it like that, can be cleared right now. And I'm getting a big part of why we're not experiencing peace all the time is we don't allow it. So we don't allow ourselves to be at peace. We don't allow ourselves to rest, to just be, because we are programmed differently. We have different conditioning. So start allowing yourself to be at peace at all times. And everything you do is coming from a place of peace, of being, of clarity. Third eye chakra. Throat chakra. Heart chakra. Maybe you experience this, the peace is just deepening and deepening from the level of the heart chakra, because this is where it's coming from, or yeah, originating from in our system. And when I work on the heart chakra, there's just so much more peace, so much more. Then solar plexus. Maybe you also feel how the solar plexus chakra is softening, or how the area of your body is relaxing more. There is more space, more light, just gets softer. Feels very good on the level of the body. Second chakra. Same here. The whole area is softening. More light is entering. I pull you even deeper, deeper and deeper into this meditation. Just relax even more. If resistance surfaces. Just allow it to be there and move with me. Move deeper, deeper and deeper. You move into more expansion, into more peace, into oneness. So let's sit with this for the next 20 minutes in silence and enjoy this beautiful place. Okay. Yeah, finished. Thank you very much for joining. Very peaceful. Yeah. This is basically resting in beingness because peace is just part of the being. Um, and during the meditation, the thought came, rest in peace gets a very different meaning when we meditate here, right? Resting in peace, but really it's resting in being. Yeah. And this is like for myself, for example, I was sitting in this beautiful peace and then inspiration just pops out of this peace. It just comes up. So inspiration for this, for my work and for things I can do, coming from my truth, right? From truth. And this is so amazing when we connect to peace because this can just come, you know? Yeah, and then I also want to share. So I'm going to be at Mother Mira's next Wednesday in Salzburg. So if anybody's there, I'm there too. Yeah. So she's there for 2 days and I go on Wednesday. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Valia.
Hi, Eva. Hello,
Hello.
everyone. That was an incredible meditation, so thank you so much. Um, just wanted to share something, just to give a bit of background, and then I will ask my question. So I have been meditating with you now for over a year, and very regularly. I've been on 2 retreats in person and one online. And I was very keen to do the karma clearing, but I was so scared that, there will be a lot of things coming up, and I've been so kind of actively preparing myself for to be ready to start clearing my karma. And and yeah, so my life has been kind of very difficult lately. So I felt like, okay, now I felt I'm ready maybe to whatever it comes to clear it, because I just thought I don't want to continue living in a victim mode or in a state of being angry or whatever. So I signed up for the karma cleaning, and I'm still on the free trial, but it has been a day 5. And thinking now about this beautiful peace meditation that we had, and I could so much relate to everything that you said and all this message that it came, because I start to feel more and more of being in this space of peace and just really being there and just being, right, and loving myself. So I guess my question is, how do I know um, when am I clearing karma? Because I don't feel that I'm being triggered since I started this. It was more like I've been triggered so much, like almost entire over a year. And where is the peace? So what is the difference between I'm being in this peace and am I clearing my karma? Or how do I know when I cleared it? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, you only like on the free trial and just be on it like for a couple of months, just to like have the clearing going on and maybe the thing is I made a video about it. I said, for some people it's possible that a lot of stuff will surface, but it doesn't have to be that way. And I'm actually happy that it's not in the way that you expected it to be, because it's always good to see, we expect things, we expect the worst, but actually it's not like that. So good. um, yeah, and I guess this is also a message for you, not expecting the worst. If it resonates, go for it, no matter what it is, and leave the mind out of it, like don't believe what the mind tells you. Um, yeah, and just be open, relaxed, allow the karma clearing to work. It's working, it is there. And see what it's going to do for you. And maybe it's just very smooth, because like I said, you have been to a few retreats, you've done quite some work, the system is open, the clearing maybe can happen just very smoothly, So yeah, I'm glad that you tried it. I'm very happy that you took that step. So good. Yeah.
So I was almost preparing, for, in for me, it's coming most on my relationship, and I'm finding it's really the relationship with the feminine, with myself and friends, but feminine friends, and I've almost like prepared for the worst because I'm having a very kind of intense relationship with my sister, and she's like the last feminine in my family, and I almost prepared like, okay, I'm giving up if that's what it means for me. I just want to love myself, and I don't want to please anybody anymore. I just really truly want to be with me and to love myself and
Yeah.
just, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is exactly what it is about, letting go, giving up,
Mm-hmm.
because there is no fight, that there is nothing to fight for, or this is just a mind thing or an ego thing. So it's really let it go, give up, love yourself. This is exactly
Mm-hmm.
the path. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you
Sounds
so
great.
much. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Valia. Thank you. Yeah. And give us an update in like a month or two. I'm curious. Yeah. Good. Hi, Bill.
Hi.
Hello.
Gee, this was really great today. Uh, you talked bringing in peace, and I, I feel, I have felt peace, a lot of peace, but I haven't really looked at it as closely as I was looking at it today. So thank you for that. Um, and so I was investigating. Okay, what is this peace? And I was seeing. It's like to me, it's like the emptiness or that quality of being, this openness of our being. And so as I was just getting into that, what you were leading us into and sharing this with everybody, I was also seeing that it's that peace is full of of this radiant light, the light of consciousness, and so I was seeing that how the peace is like, and also that it's always here. It's always here. Like I think you said that too. So it's so good to know that, and I think I, like a lot of people, it's like, peace is, I'm busy, you know, I peace is like boring, or peace is like there's nothing there, It's like, but I've come to really appreciate it in my life, that it's um it's just this to be in the peace and that openness. It's um the light is in there, and that's what, like, the whole universe is within the light, made of the light, and it's all like one thing, and I also want to mention that it's so cool that you have this connection with Mother Mira, because I visited her probably within the first 5 or 10 years she went to Germany from India,
Mm.
and yeah, and so it was cool to see that there must be a connection that we have. Maybe that's part of why I was attracted to your energy too. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah, very possible. I always, like when I start the session, I always call in God, Divine Mother, my origin light, and Mother Mira's light, because I used to
Oh,
meditate with her a lot. I went to her, well, not retreats, but to the darshans.
yeah.
Um, I don't anymore because I just don't have the time. But when she comes to Austria, so it's twice a year, I try to go, and yeah, I don't know, I still I feel like there is a lot I'm getting or can let go when I'm in her presence and receive her light. So yeah, this is why I love to go. Yeah. There, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then thank you so much for sharing your experience with the peace. Very beautiful. And you know what the thing is? The more peace you experience, the more you will let go of the busyness of the human, because you see it's just a creation of the mind most of the times, right? And like if you are at peace, you don't really like disturbance anymore. If you really start not appreciating the peace, but
Yeah.
like if there is more and more peace and then there's a disturbance, you're like, oh, I'm rather in the peace, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if there is like the difference there between peace and disturbance, but then there comes a phase where the peace is there all the time, and within that peace, stuff can happen. The disturbance, whatever can from the human can happen in the peace, and the peace is always there. I would never ever want to get rid of this peace. Like this is the most beautiful experience, the peace. So I always refer to it in the beginning of the session: the silence, the peace, the clarity. The silence, peace. Yeah, these are the four. It's just the pointing towards the being, right? The being. And it just feels, when I talk about truth in this life, like this is my main truth in experience. The rest is just energy in motion. And the human makes a story out of it. The human makes something out of it. Yeah. And so if you want, you can tap into that piece, since you explored it a lot more in the session during your day. Just look into the piece,
Cool.
especially when you are in a stressful experience or something that you like, let's say you don't like it so much, and then just look for the piece, because it also changes the experience. Yeah.
Cool.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you, Bill. Hi, Veronica.
Hi, Eva. Hi, everybody. Thank you for today's meditation. That was really cool. Something really interesting happened during it that just, I guess it just has to do with peace. I came outside. I'm usually inside, but today I decided to come outside, and it was interesting. I didn't like fall into that deep where I just kind of like leave like I usually do. So I could hear like an airplane going, and I could, feel the breeze, but it was nice. I was just experiencing all of it the whole time. And something really interesting happened towards the end. Our neighbor's dog barked just really, really loud. And usually that just gives me a jump scare, right? If it just sort of happens out of the blue. And I guess it did. Like it barked really loud, and the energy hit my body the way it would in a jump scare. But I didn't feel scared. I just felt the energy of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, it's all just energy. It feels a lot of the same way when energy comes in from the meditations, from something joyful happening. It was all the same thing, right? It was just the energy, and it just I guess what this meditation was doing for me was just showing me like it's all the same thing. It's just the story that I put behind it. Oh, a dog just barked at me. But anyway, I don't know if that's making any sense.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
lovely to have the scare gone, and it was just the felt energy, and it was like, whoa, this feels just as good as any energy that comes from a good feeling. It just neutralized it very much.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. And that's so important what you just shared, because exactly this is what it is. So, for example, if you wouldn't have been in a meditation, the dog would have barked. So you were just in being. This is why you just experienced the energy, because in being is no story, right? But
Right.
if you wouldn't have been in a meditation, the dog would have barked at you, and then the mind right away starts, oh, I can't, whatever, I can't meditate, or it's so loud and like, and then you create an experience and a story out of that. But from the level of being, you don't. So this is why we want to become that eventually, because then we just are, and then things are just happening, and we don't need to create stories, and we don't need to act on anything, right? Because acting on it would, for example, would be like going inside or asking the neighbor to, you know, put the dog inside, or I don't know, just doing something. But it's like, this is what another word would be like surrendering to what is, allowing to what is, you know. It's just, okay, this is the experience. And you had an experience so that you see this, right? So that you know now,
Yeah.
you know now. Yeah, that's so important. Yeah, so great. I'm happy that you had it. Yeah, it's all
Yeah, me
energy.
too.
Yeah, it's all energy. Yeah,
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, I love, you know, I love when people are having these experiences, because like this would be these aha moments, right? And then this is, you just know. Yeah. Hi, Athena.
Hi, Eva.
Hello.
Thank you so much. Hi. Thank you so much for this space. It feels really amazing. I am here for the first time, and I
Yeah,
got to know
welcome.
you. Thank you. I got to know you through Gareth Dugnum.
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw you on one of his podcasts, and I'm reading his book recently. I'm
Mhm.
still in the reading process. So I wanted to share something that happened during this meditation with you. But I have to start that it's not the first time that I experience this. I am experiencing this at least for a few months, where involuntary words just happen through me. And I know it could be, well, I shared it with my teacher. She said it could be light language or it could be energy release. And
So can you just say what you said? What comes through you? I didn't really hear it
like
clearly.
involuntary kind of words, maybe, or language, or
Ah, okay.
yeah.
So just words, like your body starts talking or something?
Yeah, my mouth, I
Okay.
start talking, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't understand anything that I say. And yeah, it happens almost all of my meditations. It happened also during this meditation with you. I had to turn off my camera, and I shared this with my teacher, and she said it could be a light language, it could be an energy release, and I know it's healthier, or it is. It feels calmer not to attach a meaning to it. But at the same time, there is a longing in me to understand what's happening for me. And if it helps, one of the things that I experienced during this meditation, particularly with you, where I experienced, like, I don't know how to say it. I really don't, because it was something within me, but it's like that silver pool. It's not water, it's more dense than water. And yeah, it's like a vision. And all I want to share is I don't know what to do with this. Either I don't know what to do with the wars that happen through me. And sometimes, especially if I'm alone at home and if I'm feeling really safe, that nobody's looking, it goes on, and to a point where I have to stop myself. So any thoughts or any advice in that? Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that I had to ask you about this.
Yeah. Thanks for being here and thank you for asking this question. Yeah, it's very interesting. So, okay, depending on from which perspective I'm answering this question from. So, from the level of realizing your true nature, I'd say allow this to happen, but don't really look into the content or into the meaning of it, because in the end, it doesn't matter. It could be an energy release. I also think it might be something like that, where the energy comes into your system and this is just how your system is responding to it. You know, some people feel heat, some people have twitches, they have kriyas, and this is a sort of a kriya, you know, this is like from that level. Um, there are people who channel energies, you know, and channel light beings, but I don't know how to do it. I haven't done it. When I receive the information from the energies, it's really just like an information bubble, a bubble of knowing, and I just know what to share. So it's not something that overtakes me and I then talk. It's something I voluntarily share. So I don't really have an experience of that, but I usually say to people about spiritual experiences, they're there for everybody individual, for a certain learning or a certain understanding of things. And then it's always important to let this go again. Experiences come and go. If the meaning of that surfaces to you or somehow comes to you, great. If not, it doesn't really matter, you know. this is my approach. For me, it's
Thank
always
you.
like, okay, I have an experience, and then I get up and continue with my day, and I
Yeah.
don't think about it anymore. Yeah, so this is what I can share from my perspective. Maybe you find, like, if you're really interested and you really want to know, maybe you find somebody who works with channeling or like light language or this kind of languages that come through. I have no idea. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Thank you. No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
okay. Thank you so much. I
yeah.
just wanted to know on a hard level that I don't have to do anything with it. And
No.
somehow, somewhere in my heart, I know that I don't have to do anything with it. And if it's meant to be something, I would know. Like eventually, I will know. So thank
Yeah,
you so much.
yeah,
Thank you. That
yeah.
was really helpful.
Okay, great. And also, letting this go often it brings in the answer. This is also a thing. So I would just let this go and yeah,
Yeah,
and see what happens. Okay,
I will. I will. Thank you
great.
so much.
Thank you so much. Hi, Dagmar.
Hello, Eva. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Just a little quick check-in because I've been doing this with you for almost 2 years now. And I went to Knittelfeld last year. And I was in the beginning, I did daily. I mean, I really felt like there's a lot of transformation happening. And it is. It really is. It still is. I don't do it quite as every day anymore, but maybe once, twice a week. Just how I feel this whole peace thing. It feels like the human experience is embedded in this ocean of peace almost. So that's always there, but life happens out of that. So it's almost, how they say, the peace that passeth understanding. It is like, it's the peace that comes before understanding. Understanding is a human way of processing. It's just absolutely lovely. I feel like I'm experiencing everything from a little bit different level, but not in any way not human. I'm as human as I ever was, more human actually than I ever was, because I also see what has happened recently is I see through all the ways that we give our power away and how we've done it for thousands of years, how our conditioning works from patriarchy to matriarchy to religion, everything. I just see, and I see in people what they are struggling with at this moment and where it comes from, where they're stuck. I'm in no way a healer, but I feel people are drawn to me, because I probably do have pretty good vibrations at this point, but I'm not giving any kind of advice. But I think I see, they know I see on a very subconscious level almost. Anyway, it's still unfolding and it's absolutely lovely and exciting and miraculous, really. But it's just still life. It's still me, except I'm more me than I ever was because I am working through my own limitations that I imposed on myself. It's just really, I'm so grateful to you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah,
for
beautiful.
empowering me, really.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, I'm so happy for you, Dagmar, honestly. Especially, when you put in the work and you get the results,
Yeah.
it's very amazing. And yes, like this is what I always say in the beginning of the session, we become more aware. So we become more aware of who we
Absolutely.
are, how our system works, what is influencing us, and then we also, of course, see this in others because we know ourselves, we know our system, then we see it in others. Yeah, this is absolutely amazing. And I mean, if people start approaching you and asking you for advice, this is just, it needs to happen, when
Sure.
when
Yeah.
you radiate this, it's very possible that people come and
Yeah. I
feel
see it in
drawn to
my
that.
kids. They seem to not, oh, there's mom again, They're coming, they want to be in my presence because I think I help them a little. They feel my peace, really.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
puts them more at peace too.
yeah, absolutely.
It's just really lovely. And that's exactly what you're saying. The more you will know more about the system works. And it is varied. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I just see all the mechanisms in place to control humans, which is necessary at some level. I get it. But I see the control mechanisms. And that's just whoa. And it's really sad too, in a way, what has been done and what keeps happening. But at the same time, I'm not an outlier. I know a lot of things that I'm going through is happening to a lot of people. You being the one who also facilitates this, I am very, in a really weird way, positive that things will change in a good way. Really.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, it's also important to go beyond that. Go beyond wanting to change anything, or I know we all want that on one level, but it's important also to have the access to beyond that, go beyond that level, because this is where true peace is. No matter what's like, whatever mechanisms are in place, whatever structures are in place, if they're good or bad, we really want to go beyond all the structures, beyond all the content. This is the next level. Yeah.
Yeah, and that it's happening. It's definitely happening.
Yeah,
It's just,
beautiful.
yeah, hey, absolutely. Love you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Very cool. Thank you so much, Dagmar. Very, very appreciate this amazing feedback. Yeah, great. Thank you. I'm happy for you. Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
The drinking has stopped when I did your karma clearing. That was there. That was an ancestral thing. And I think that really kind of kick-started the whole thing big time.
Yeah.
That needed to leave, and it's gone. And again, it's you. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah, yeah. I know you wrote me an email, and I was very happy about that, because this keeps us drinking keeps us very limited, all sorts of addictions anyways. And when the addiction can go, and it's like such a big opening. Yeah. So I'm very, very happy for you, Dagmar. Yeah.
Hey,
Great. And
so
thank
am
you for
I.
sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great.
Bye. That's it.
Thank you very much. Hi, Nahuel.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much, Eva. Just very grateful. And I tried again the karma clearing, and it finished the trial. And I had other answers, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna slow down because my system was very tired. And it turned out it was the karma clearing that got me very sleepy.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if how
I
it
remember,
works.
yeah.
Yeah,
shared,
but
yeah.
now I got more energy. I don't know. Why do you think that would be? Or
The thing is, the karma clearing also works on the level of the body. Like it also influences the body, right? And this, like, fatigue even can come from that. So I've experienced this as well for many months, which was very annoying, but I knew at the same time it's important. So this level needs to be worked through. And again, it's not going to be the same for everybody, right? But it seems like in your case, it was also the tiredness. And it's just because this is the response of the body. Everybody responds differently.
Yeah. It's like going to the beach. You spend an entire day in the beach, and it's like a cleansing. And then you get home, and you're like, oh my God, I'm tired.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at least you know what it is, then it's also a lot easier to accept, I guess. But
Yeah.
come back to it when you feel like you can. Maybe the tiredness will be gone then, because up until then, some other stuff will be cleared, that it's not gonna influence you in that way. Just
Yeah. Try to
see.
balance human life with this, so I can maybe make more exercise and goodbye chubbiness.
Yeah, this is actually a very interesting thing, because we also need to go beyond that, beyond that we need to exercise to lose weight and stuff like that. So moving beyond this, beyond the conditioning.
Oh,
yeah, because then you can just eat whatever you want, and you probably have the same amount of weight all the time. This is where the weight loss enhancer, or what is it called, the ideal weight enhancer, is there for, because we have so much conditioning and information in our system around the weight and how to lose weight and what to eat and all of that, right? There's like this is probably the most conditioning that's there, like, for us, sports and food. And then it comes back to, first of all, that the energies are being cleared, the energies that are not true. then you come back to a place of neutrality where you just decide in the present moment what you eat. And some days it's going to be more, some days it's going to be less, some days it's going to be more sweet, some days it's going to be less. So this structure of we have to eat certain foods every day and at certain times and all of that, this can just fall away. Okay. And then also we get to a certain weight, and this is the ideal weight. And it's just going to stay. So no matter if you do sports or not do sports, if you eat like totally healthy or a little bit unhealthy, you know, it's just going to stay more or less in that framework because this is your ideal weight. And when the conditioning is gone, the misunderstanding is gone, then it's just there all the time. Of course, then there's this biorhythm, you know, in winter, for example, the body just has a little bit more fat maybe than in summer and so forth. You know, this is natural. But we just want to go back to natural, and that this is not a theme in our life, that it's like dominating, because it's very dominating for a lot of people, right? This theme, food and sports and ideal weight and stuff. So, and it's also a limitation. It just takes away our energy, our time.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
And just a question, do you think this kind of, because I see now this realm as an astral layer, but it's more dense, right? It feels kind of, at least at the beginning. Now it's starting to feel more
real.
light.
Very dense and real, yes.
And real. But so if it's like a dream or an astral realm, then we can actually start breaking these patterns and also the rules of, for example, gravity, or you need to eat in order to survive, or, you know.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. To me, like personally, the conditioning that I have to eat, otherwise I'm dying, is so strong that I'm still eating every day, you know? It's not something I looked into. But yeah, definitely. I mean, there are people out there who don't eat for weeks, months, years, and do all sorts of other things. Yes, like I also feel it. Like I have this knowing that, for example, we don't need to use a car to travel or a plane to travel and all these things, right? So there, like maybe this is something that comes later, that we can influence this reality more. So there are certain rules in this reality right now, but maybe we can bend them more, or let's say this starts changing. I also have this sense, I don't know how it's gonna unfold. Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely going to be different in, let's say, 20, 50 years from now. I definitely see it in that way. Yeah. Things are going to be
times.
Different. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have to say, I personally appreciate food. I love good food, you know, when it's cooked with love, or I just love food, you know, so this is why I'm not interested in not eating, for example. But there, I mean, maybe some people are interested in exploring that, and then they can. And it's definitely possible. There are people out there who don't eat and sleep and drink and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Endless possibilities, huh?
Yeah. It always depends on what you want to experience more of and what's important for you in this life. Because to me, it's like okay, we can explore what's possible in this reality, but to me, it's more important to become who we are. You know, this is like the most important thing to me.
Yeah, the main one. Yeah.
And then when you basically, when the realization is there, when the becoming is there, and then exploring from that level is again very different, because you already know who you are. So I would suggest the first step is knowing who you are, and then bending the rules of this reality.
Bending reality. Yeah. Thank you so much, Eva. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Noel. Okay, thank you so much for all the amazing sharings and for the questions. That was a lot of fun. Amazing meditation. I really recommend listening to it again, especially to what I shared in the beginning, because I think it's so important and everybody can definitely benefit from that message. Okay, thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your week and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Eva.
Bye-bye.